Welcome, everybody. Midlife Vices, episode 302. Say it loud. Uh, I'm Steve. With me, as always, is Jim. And you can see there on the bottom of your screen or wherever you're looking at him is Emmett from Gathering of the Geeks. Welcome, Emmett. Good to have you with us.
I'm glad to be here, gents. Thank you.
Yeah. How you doing, Jim? What's going on
I'm
tonight?
doing great. Yeah. Can't complain. Not a whole lot, anyway.
We are the Booster Goals of YouTube shows, and each week we give you our top 10 list of some pop culture related topic. And this week's topic is our top monologues from movies, TV shows, whatever that may be. And we'll get to that in a little bit. But first, as always, we'll start out with what we liked or what we did this week. You do anything exciting, Jim? I saw you had some football going on.
Yeah, my youngest had his first flag football game this weekend. That was a lot of fun. He had a doubleheader for his first Saturday, which was a really long day in the sun. Kind of wish they wouldn't have done that, but that was a lot of fun. Let's see.
What kind of dad are you? Are you like the coach dad? Like
No,
yelling and screaming plays? Like are you very calm and cool? And
no, I'm pretty calm. Because the whole family goes. My whole family, and then grandma and grandpa went too. So the second game I missed most of it because I was with the youngest in the playground because he can't sit through two games. So
sure.
That's kind of what happens there.
Yeah.
And actually, my oldest didn't play quite a bit of the second game. He always seems to be the youngest on his teams. So, he can't quite grip a football yet. So, makes throwing it hard and catching it still pretty hard.
So I saw those pictures on Instagram, commented on it. Very nice 3-point stance he's down in that one picture. Looks pretty professional, actually.
Yeah. And so, what's also funny about the pictures is they gave him a mouth guard when we showed up. It was too big. So the coach had to go through with a pocket knife and cut all these mouth guards after they've been in the kid's mouth when they can't fit him,
Nice.
So he, in every picture, he has it in his hand because he's not used to wearing one in his mouth. So every picture, it's in his hand, except for the one in the 3-point stance. So
nice.
That was entertaining.
That was awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, it's just been puppy stuff. I mean, puppy stuff dominating my life right now. He's growing like crazy. I sent you the video of him actually playing with our older dog, Parker, finally. Just going crazy. He comes out just slobbery, like soaking wet. It's like he just had a bath. It's nasty, but they'll play for forever. I worry a little bit because Parker's like 75 pounds and Oz is pretty small still. And he kind of like falls on him every once in a while, just drops down on him.
Oh, that'd be fine. I used to fall on my kids when they were infants all the time.
Yeah, right. Definitely keeps me busy. It's a blast. So.
What kind of dogs do you have, Steve?
Our 2.5-year-old is a Collie Pyrenees cross. And then the youngest one, the puppy, we got him at 7 weeks. He's now 9.5 weeks. He's a yellow lab. And he's just the most ridiculously cute dog ever.
That's right.
Yeah.
And I cannot believe how big that dog has gone in just a week and a half or whatever it's been. 3 weeks.
Yeah, it's been not even 2 weeks yet. And we got him at 15 pounds, and he's 3 days ago, he was 21. And I bet he's put on a couple since then. He's just, putting it on.
Or he sleeps next to his feed, right? Looking for food.
Yeah, he lays down next to his bowl just waiting for us to feed him. Stay there for hours. So.
You have a dog in it?
No, we have a cat. I'm not the biggest dog fan, or even like pet fan, really. Like my daughter had a fish for a while, and that was just terrible. It smelled, and you had to clean the tank. It was just the worst. I'm an incredibly lazy parent in that sense. So like having animals it seems like so much work, especially when my son's like a dog already. So I think that's enough animal for me. My son is an
incredibly lazy parent. I love that.
Yeah, like I don't have the time to, like, I barely clean the cat litter. Like it's a struggle to get down there and clean up that cat litter. So, and I ain't training no dog, and like I said, my son's smelly enough. I don't need another smelly in the house. So
yeah,
my wife made me wait till the boys were no longer infants to get.
Yeah, see, that makes sense to me. Like, yeah, like having like two small things running around being maniacs, like that's I can't handle that. Having it when they're much older, that makes sense to me.
Yeah, they still don't help, but
Yeah. Yeah.
My boys are pretty close to the cats. I mean, they like the dog, but the dog outweighs them. So,
Oh yeah.
So what have you been up to this week, Emmett?
Not much. It's the second week of school back here for us up here. You guys go back earlier, right? Like
It's different every location. Some go like middle of August. Some are after the first day after Labor Day, like first week of September. Some
Mine
are
was
like
leaving
beginning of August now. So it just depends where you are.
Yeah, I noticed that for some people I followed on Twitter that their kids go back in like the middle of August. I'm like, that's summer. What happened to summer?
Yeah.
You guys are
I know.
like, so yeah. My kids are back second week of school. My daughter just started high school this year, so it's a big transition for her. But I love summer. I love all of summer, but man, it's nice when kids go back to school.
Yeah.
It's just like they have somewhere else to go, and like my days off from work, they're actual real days off, which is nice. You know, my house is empty, so I can read more comics and watch more movies and play more video games. So that's what I kind of look forward to now that school's back in. Is just doing some more things on my own. You know, reading more books because
Nice.
I was talking about yesterday on our show with Chris and Gathering of the Geeks. It's been like I've been struggling to read comics lately. You know, struggling to find time, struggling to find the energy to read a comic book every once in a while. So I hope to be able to pick that back up again now that the house is a little bit emptier.
Yeah.
Nice. So this is the first time that we have two kids. Like my youngest is in preschool. So we have 3 hours a day, except for one day during the week. He don't go on Wednesdays. We have like 3 hours to ourselves in the house, you know, and I had these big plans, like I'm going to read and I'm going to spend 1 hour to read. And I played a video game today.
Yeah,
I'm not even a gamer. I played a video game. You know?
Yeah. Nice. All right. Well, we'll go into this. All right. So, what's the best thing you read or watched or both or did this week, Jim?
Let's see. Well, this week. Did we have a show last week? Yeah.
We
I
did,
finished
yes.
the Lord of the Rings books. I got those all down. And I know Emmett's like against reading them, but man, I'm telling you, they're great.
It's just so much, Jim. It's so much.
It is.
So I listened to them. You know, I got them through Audible, and so I walk a lot. So I listen to them when I walk. Man, they were just fantastic. It's taken over my favorite book of all time. I'm just going to count it as one.
Yeah.
And there's just so much more there than what's in the movies. No, don't get me wrong. I love the movies. I'm not going to. I'm not one of those people like, oh, you know, they slaughtered them. They did really change some characters in the movies, but I don't see how they could have kept everything the same. And but the books are just fantastic. I mean, I've restarted the Two Towers. I would have started over, but my wife's listening to the first one, and I can't have it on two different places. So, yeah, it's just great. But you're right. There's a lot of information coming at you in some of these parts.
How do you do with them saying the names?
I'm sorry.
Like the names of the characters. Like even reading names is hard enough. How is it with someone reading the names out loud?
So there's a couple as far as understanding the name.
Yeah, like there's Awen and there's Arwen and there's Aragon. Like it's just
So that's one bonus of watching the movies is you have an idea of what's going on. And believe it or not, after a while, you can tell by the voice the reader is using of who's talking.
Right.
Like, and that sounds silly because it's the same guy doing all these, doing voices of women, doing voices of, but it's really good. Now, I bought the older version with Robert Engel is the guy that did it. I didn't get the newest, the guy that does Gollum. I can't think of his name off the top of my head. Andy Serkis. I didn't buy his adaptation. Probably because I didn't want to hear Gollum when I was, I didn't want to hear Gollum doing all the voices. That's kind of how it was for me. So I went with the old one, and it was fantastic. And to be honest, I love it so much, I'll probably end up buying the newer ones and listening to him do it just because how addictive my personality is. This.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I recommend reading them to anyone. I think once you get past The Fellowship,
Yeah.
which is my favorite movie, but my least favorite
Same.
of the books.
Mm.
So once you get past that, it's pretty, I won't say fast paced, but everything is interesting.
Mm.
So,
Nice.
so that was my favorite of that. As far as TV goes, I don't know. I haven't watched a whole lot of TV.
Only Murders? You watched the last Only
Yeah,
Murders?
I did, and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it more than most, it seems.
I'm with you on that. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that show. I was talking to Chris Evans in DMs about. He's like, "Well, have any theories?" I don't think I've made a theory since the first season because that's
Mm.
not. I don't watch it for the mystery anymore. I watch it for the interactions with the characters, and not just with one another, but with anyone. They just make me laugh. Steve Martin. I can't remember his quote.
You posted it today.
I just want to be the type of guy that can live with a woman and, if necessary, her 62 fish. That's it. Made me laugh out loud, and to me, that's worth the whole season. You know, it's just great, and my wife loves it too, so can't go wrong. But football Sunday, that's probably it. Steve's frozen.
I can see that.
Yeah, or
He's a smiley fella, anyways.
Yeah, he's mannequin training.
That's an interesting thought about not caring or not being as interested in the mystery of Only Murders, but only you really caring about the characters. And I wonder if that's what they're going for. I don't know. That's an interesting thought.
Well, you know, I think you can only do a mystery for so long. You know, I mean, and it's there.
Yeah.
Like, do you have theory? I mean, of course, I have guesses, but
I have a guess.
That's a theory.
I don't have a theory. I have a guess, and it's the guess after like the first episode. I think it's his brother. I think it's his brother Dickie. When Mabel and what's his name are hiding in that closet, and he comes into the room and he's all angry about something. Yeah, I think it's Paul Rudd's brother Dickie. And I think they've been avoiding it. And I don't think it's Meryl Streep because they're playing that off like it's a lot. And I don't think it's obviously after the latest episode. It's not Charles's girlfriend or fiance.
So, I think I told Jim my theory. I think you don't remember. I know you weren't paying attention, but so I think I don't know. I'm like 30%, but I think it'd be really cool. I think after the White Room episode, I think it could be Charles.
I think that's a great theory, and that would be a really interesting idea if they played it out.
I don't know if they have more seasons planned going forward, or if this is the final season, or what they're going to do. So,
so you think they had him actually punch him and then finish the job later?
But he didn't know that he was doing it when he did it because he blacked out.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah. I like that idea.
Yeah, no. if anything, just because you came up with it.
Yeah, thanks. Appreciate that. Hey, we were talking about Lord of the Rings. So when do you know, Emmett, when Rings of Power comes back for a season 2?
No, and I think it's one of the ones that is filming during the strike. If I remember correctly, I think they made a deal somehow to get it done. But you know, the show is so big and it requires so much CGI. I wouldn't expect it until maybe late next year, the end of 2024. I can't remember when Rings of Power came out last year,
or was it last September or something? Or
was it I think it was the end of 22. So I feel like maybe the end of 24, even the beginning of 25, but I don't really know. I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, I have no clue. I got to go back and watch that again.
Yeah,
it really does really well with a rewatch. It really did for me when I rewatched it again. I enjoyed it so much more, and I enjoyed it a lot the first time too. So.
And Jim, I would imagine after hearing the books and stuff, there's going to be a few names you recognize more than you would have the first time watching through as well.
Yeah, so. I mean, the first time through, I didn't realize that Galadriel was, I had no clue that they're the same people,
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm terrible with memory stuff anyway. But just remembering what I watched is sometimes a challenge, let alone putting a name on it.
So my best of the week are Only Murders, and God, really enjoyed that episode. And we're doing our Lost rewatch. So again, our annual rewatch, and that's always, I told you before that Jack got more annoying every time we rewatched it, but this season it's not bothering me. Like he seems okay. So I don't know if it
Where
just
are
has.
you?
We're on episode 9 right now.
Oh, okay.
Hurley just built the golf course.
What about Kate?
Oh, Kate's just as annoying. Yes. Yeah. So that's it for me. I think you said you watched the new Indiana Jones, Emmett. You said that last
Yeah, I
night.
watched Dial of Destiny
Yeah.
over the course of 2 nights, just because I didn't realize it was so long. It's over
Mm-hmm.
2.5 hours. Probably didn't help.
It takes me that long to get through an Indiana Jones movie too.
Yeah.
It's the one franchise everyone loves that it just
You don't like any of them?
It does. I mean, I like Raiders.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's just, they do nothing for me. Like I said, I would rather watch National Treasures.
Yeah, that's
it's so weird to me that. I mean, I guess a great theme song really helps.
Do you like Harrison Ford?
I do. I mean, it makes no logical sense to me why I don't like this movie, because it's right.
That's what I was thinking. There's no reason
I was
here.
young, and when it came out, you know what I'm saying, right in that age group that everyone seems to love it. All the sequels I never watched until I was an adult. So like I find The Last Crusade almost unwatchable because it's just so corny to me.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of corny stuff I also love. So I don't know what it is I have against it.
National Treasure.
Yeah. I don't know. I can't explain and it's not dislike. It's just not for me. Same thing with Goonies. People love Goonies. I like Goonies. It's okay.
Right. Yeah. Last Crusade's my favorite of the series as well, and it's because of those corny moments.
Yeah.
I mean, with his dad and all that kind of stuff, and Sala, and yeah, I like the corniness of it, even though I accept that the Raiders of the Lost Ark is a better made film and is like a very, very good movie, but I find Last Crusade just to be more enjoyable for some reason. I don't know why.
My favorite thing of the whole Indiana Jones stuff is the Big Bang Theory episode where they explained that he had no role in the movie.
Yeah, he doesn't.
Right.
Yeah.
That's my favorite thing of the whole thing,
Yeah.
Just missing 20 seconds.
That's right. That's right. Cool. All right.
Yeah. Leave your hate mail somewhere else.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I don't know what's going on with my internet, man. This is 2 weeks in a row that it's been doing this to me, and I got to figure out why. So I don't know if you noticed, Emmett, last night on the show, it was like Chris was sending us subliminal messages. His screen kept kind of twitching, and there was like flashes in there. I wanted to figure out what it was. I thought maybe he was trying to brainwash us somehow.
Yeah, that's right. 1984.
It was like Nick Cage scenes or something going on.
Yeah, that's right. Just flashing a Nick Cage every once in a while.
Maybe it worked because I like National Treasure.
That's true. That's true.
Oh my God.
He's genius. All right, moving right along.
Oh, yes. Wow.
All right, you show me yours and I'll show you mine. What do you got this week, Jim?
So since we're going with the Lord of the Rings still, I got that's you.
That's me. Yeah. That's weird. There we go.
Nice.
Got my golem here.
Yeah.
Oh, he looks like he moves too.
Well, I mean, yeah, he can. It's not a statue, but.
Oh, okay.
But and he comes with different heads and stuff like that. But this is by far my favorite pose, where he's checking out the ring in his hand.
Nice.
And, I dare not move any of these figures. You can take it off me.
There we go. Okay. It's getting very annoying.
Yeah, I'm. One thing I don't like about this line of figures is, as you're going to see with the other, they're hard to either stand, pose, or like if I moved him, he would fall off that rock and I'd probably never get him back on.
Yeah, you said one of them came in with the head was off of it, or didn't you? Wasn't one of them broken or something, or no?
No.
Okay.
No. That's my issue with the Nazgul.
Right. Okay.
It's like a hollow hole. There's
That's
nothing.
right. That's
There's
what it
nothing
was.
there. It's just
Right.
you can see the back plastic, so it's just like
Right.
yeah, that's just laziness. Come on, Diamond Select.
Yeah. Nice. Cool. All right. Well, I've
I
got
could do
two
much
things here, and I thought of them after watching Gathering of the Geeks. Emmett talked about how he preferred reading the oversized issues like the DC Black series and that sort of stuff. So I went through and I got a couple of my older. So this is a Do You Dare Enter the House of Mystery? It's some really cool old stories going on there. Nice cover. It's not the greatest shape, but it's a pretty cool book. And then I got a book with the world's not greatest detective, but the most famous detective right there, Dick Tracy. So these are a couple of my oversized, and they are very, of the time for what they are. So,
yes.
Yeah.
Nice.
I've never actually read them. I should probably give them a read through one of these days. But I love the covers. I love the way they look. And
yeah. Are you guys more so? The older I get, the more prone I am to read things that have larger print.
Oh yeah,
that's a necessity.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I love books that have stuff I can read easily.
Yeah, bigger pictures and bigger words.
Yeah. Even my computer, I used to have it set at like 80% or 100%. Now it's at like 110 minimum on the font size. So, yeah, it's pretty much a necessity.
News. Oh, we may never get this.
Breaking news.
A frozen storm is going through California. Steve is iced out.
That's right.
Oh, he's back.
Kind
of. I'm back.
Oh. Okay.
Here we go. Right. Breaking news. New York, once again suffering on this day. Aaron Rodgers carted off the field early. Man, you got to feel for him. Got to feel for him. All right, moving right along. Tonight's list is our top 10 monologues for movies, TV shows, wherever you may get your monologues from. And we will start, as always, with our guest, Emmett, and we will start with... number 10.
So I cheated a bit, as I tend to do with most of these lists where I don't have them in order. And some of them aren't really monologues because I've blended them together with motivational moments in movies.
That's okay.
Perfect. So my first one is a scene from For Love of the Game with Kevin Costner, where he's throwing the perfect game and he's going through his life with his wife, Kelly Preston, I think it is. And there's a moment where John C. Reilly, the catcher, comes out to the mound and talks to him because it feels like Kevin Costner, the pitcher, is starting to fade a little bit. And John C. Reilly says he's like really trying to motivate Kevin Costner's character to finish off the game and finish off his perfect game. And he says, "We're going to be awesome for you right now." And there's something about that line that John C. Reilly says to Kevin Costner, we will be awesome for you right now. Like you can tell that Kevin Costner doesn't have it anymore, and he's going to throw just lob in like meatballs for guys just to crush. But he says that the defense will be there for you because you've been there for us. And I don't know why that gets me. Like I'm a big Kevin Costner fan, and I'm a big Kevin Costner movie fan or sports fan. Like I love Tin Cup, Bull Durham, all that kind of stuff. And there's something about John C. Reilly. When John C. Reilly was a real actor and not just a comedy actor. When he was in. Like he was in like a bunch of movies, Martin Scorsese movies, and Paul Thomas Anderson movies,
Boogie Nights,
and yeah, exactly, Boogie Nights and Magnolia. I used to really love John C. Reilly, and I guess I still do. But there was something about that "we will be awesome for you right now" that just kind of grabs me every time I think about motivating somebody or telling for my son, or my if I want to motivate my son or something like that. It's just we will be awesome for you right now. I just love that line, so that's my number 10.
That's great. This is probably I've never made it all the way through Bull Durham. Durham. I can't even say the title.
Durham.
Yeah. But I've seen For the Love of the Game, but it's been very long time.
Hmm.
But, and just that makes me want to go back and watch that.
There you go.
Yeah, it does. All right, nice.
Steve, have you seen it?
I have again, like you years ago, probably when it first came out. Yeah, I look like you guys both said.
I like
Kevin
mixed
Costner sports
movies.
movies. He's always washed up. He's always struggling, but he always
That's right.
still wins for the
Yeah.
most part. So, yeah.
Yeah, I always combine his movies. Like for some reason, I thought he was married to the woman he's married to in Tin Cup in that movie, and so I just get them all mixed up.
10 Cups for Nate Russo, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's right.
yeah. He's like a 5-sport athlete. He's amazing.
Yes, he is.
It's
Yes,
either
he is.
sports or westerns. That's Kevin Costner.
That's right. Yeah. All right.
All right, my number 10. I'm going to go with the speech in Independence Day from the president.
Nice.
Yes, that's on my list as well. So,
Probably not. You didn't even come up with 10, did you?
no, it's absolutely on my list. Of course, it's
Yeah.
on my list.
Yeah, I mean, after his speech of "We will not go quietly into the night," or
Hmm.
we're not just fighting for our independence, we're fighting for our survival. It's just great. It makes me want to fly a plane, and I can't. So it's probably the best speech in a blockbuster that I can think of.
Hmm.
And it's summer blockbuster.
Hmm.
That opened between June 30th and July 6th, right?
June 30th and July 5th. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, it's just
It is. It's great. Yeah.
a speech.
You're like, and it makes you be like, man, why can't movie presidents are great, aren't they?
Oh yeah, they're
Mhm.
yeah. Well, there's no divide, and
Yeah, they're just fantastic.
especially at that point.
Yeah. Well, yeah, for sure. Yeah,
I
that's a
mean,
good one.
The main bad guy besides the aliens is what the advisor that.
Yes.
Anyway, that's your primary bad guy. That's a good movie. I think most people are
Right.
supportive.
Yeah, most people are united there. Awesome. So that will be my number 10 as well. So we won't need to go into that later. All right. Number 9.
My number 9 is Tom Hanks in Saving Private Ryan. When the medic had just died and they have that German prisoner and they're kind of beating him up a little bit. And then the kind of the joke throughout the movie is who Tom Hanks' character is back home.
What he did, yeah.
He starts to tell the story about who he is. He's just a teacher and he just wants to go home. He just wants to get home to his wife and whatever he has to do to get there and get home safe. I love that scene. Tom Hanks is obviously awesome in a lot of different things, but I like the through line from the story about who the captain is and who is he, and to break up the infighting in his crew with this German prisoner, and it's to be an openly revealing moment from himself, and it's just all about going home to his wife. So that's my number 9.
Yeah, that's a great movie, and I still can't believe Chris hasn't seen that. But
the list of movies that Chris hasn't seen, trust me,
it's unreal. He's seen all these Nick Cage movies, but it's a movie guy, and then anyway, Sanjay was the same way.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great scene. Do they? And I just caught this on the TV a couple of weeks ago, but they never explained his shaking, do they?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
Not that I recall.
I kind of wish they would have at some point. But yeah, great movie, great scene.
Yeah.
I kind of like the German soldier. I like that more so than just his speech, I guess. Because I remember thinking, I was in the army. I didn't care what my captain did, but maybe I did. Maybe I would have in that situation. I don't know. So, anything to say there, Steve?
Speaking of, well, I was just going to comment off topic of, well, not off topic. The Pacific. You talked about Band of Brothers on the show. Pacific, definitely. I actually prefer it to Band of Brothers.
Oh, interesting.
Not that Band of Brothers. I'm not lowering Band of Brothers. I just like Pacific that much. and yeah, I think it's fantastic. So definitely when you get a
Yeah,
chance.
I might start it tonight. If not, it'll be starting it tomorrow night, and hopefully I'll have it
Nice.
finished.
Oh, that's on
by-
HBO Max, right?
So.
Yeah.
Yeah, Crave up here. Yeah.
All right. So what's your number 9, Jim?
Well, so like Emmett, I only have 5 of my number because I'm looking
No,
through
that's
them, like,
fine.
which one do I want number 5?
Yeah.
These are all really good. I'm going to go with Al Pacino, Son of a Woman. You're out of order,
Oh, this is like my number 2.
Ooh.
Then you know more about it than me because I don't remember. I just remember. So I saw this in the theater, and I just remember being really like, yeah, especially when Tom, Jane, Joe, you too. It makes me laugh. I'm not usually a big fan of swearing for humor, and that just cracks me up for some reason. So, yeah, it's a good scene, and
So it starts with I got it written down here. The whole out of order. I'll show you out of order. You don't know what out of order is, Mr. Trask. I'd show you, but I'm too old. I'm too tired. I'm too effing blind. If I were the man I was 5 years ago, I'd take a flamethrower to this place. And then it just continues to go on for talking about how good of a kid he is and how you don't want to ruin him. And
but he's not a rat.
right,
Yeah, great.
yeah.
That's
So
great
it's
movie.
fantastic how he knocks down this college. What does that mean? Being a bared man. I'm not, the cradle of leadership. He's, just calling out the snobbiness of everybody. Yeah, it's great. It's
Although,
a great scene.
now that I'm really thinking about this movie, I really like when they go to the Thanksgiving dinner and
That's my favorite scene in the movie.
That's
his
fantastic.
brother
too.
explains, like, did the colonel tell you how this happened to him? I really enjoyed that.
Yeah. So,
Oh, gonna have to watch that movie again.
Yeah, that's right. Another
good.
one.
It's good. All right. My number 9, Homer Simpson. I want to shake. He's talking to Marge. I want to shake off the dust of this one-horse town. I want to explore the world. I want to watch TV in a different time zone. I want to visit strange, exotic malls. I'm sick of eating hoagies. I want a grinder, a sub, a foot-long hero. I want to live, Marge. Won't you let me live? Won't you please? It's fantastic.
I gotta change my number 1.
What episode is that? What episode is that from, Steve?
I didn't write down which episode it was.
Oh.
Yeah.
I like that. That's funny though.
Yeah.
I don't want you to.
There's more to it. That's just the part I wrote down. But yeah,
Nice.
just the whole a grinder, a sub, a foot long hero.
Yeah.
Yeah. It starts off with he's actually talking about donuts and but he moves into that. So yeah, that's my number 9. So all right. Number 8.
I'll go with an Al Pacino one from Any Given Sunday. The speech before the final game in the locker room that he's given to the teammate or all the team, and I just specifically love it when Jamie Foxx is in the back of the like behind everyone, and he starts walking towards into the forefront. Is Pacino really like this? Like we're talking about it, like he's one of the ones that like him and like Jack Nicholson, I'm sure we'll get to, like he has the speech down. Like Pacino's like his momentum that he builds and his emotion that he builds. Specifically when he's talking about what living and dying is. Getting that extra. It's a game of inches. Everything is all about the 6 inches in front of your face. I love Jim Brown just kind of hanging out in the corner with his arms crossed, just doing his thing. So I do Al Pacino in Any Given Sunday.
So
Cool.
So I haven't seen this since the theater as well, and I remember nothing of this movie. But I've written down one thing now on my paperwork that I'm going to ask after every one of these: is that, would it be better if Homer Simpson said it?
Yeah, that's right.
And I think the answer is going to be yes to everyone.
Yes is the answer.
Oh man, that brought me such joy.
All right.
Okay.
I like that. Good one. Good one.
Yeah, I just don't remember it. I remember that guy in class holding the ball and them trying to punch it out. That's like the scene I remember from that movie. Or was that even that movie?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, so I'm going to guess no. There's another football. No, that's not Any Given Sunday. That was that's some college movie. So I have not seen that movie. Spoiler alert, up next, I'm going to guess something from Draft Day from Kevin Costner. Okay, let's see here. Let's go. I'm going to go with another one that I don't know a whole lot about.
Yeah.
I just remember the way it made me feel. I wrote down, in this life, you don't have to prove nothing to nobody but yourself. It's from Rudy. It's when he quit. And I can't remember who was that actor.
Was it the caretaker, the black caretaker? Yeah.
I can't think of his name.
Can't think.
But anyway, just reminding Rudy that of all the effort he put in, and God bless you, Steve. A good thing about your internet being bad is I didn't hear that at all.
I muted the mic.
Oh, well done.
I'm professional.
So, yeah, it's just the one time Sean Austin needed the kick in the butt, he got it from the guy that mows the grass. Just I gotta watch this movie again too. John Favreau.
Yeah.
Probably the
So
first.
how many episodes have we done, Jim, where we say, "Oh, now I got to watch that," and then we've probably never actually go watch it?
I know. Well, it's so many. If we didn't, we're going to have to go to bi-monthly if we want to do that.
Yes.
Not the bi-weekly that Gathering of Geeks does.
That's right.
Right. All right. Good choice. My number 8 actually comes from Dwight from The Office.
Nice.
What's my perfect crime? I break into Tiffany's at midnight. Do I go for the vault? No, I go for the chandelier. It's priceless. As I'm taking it down, a woman catches me. She tells me to stop. It's her father's business. She's Tiffany. I say no. We make love all night. In the morning, the cops come and I escape in one of their uniforms. I tell her to meet me in Mexico, but I go to Canada. I don't trust her. Besides, I like the cold. 30 years later, I get a postcard. I have a son, and he's the chief of police. This is where the story gets interesting. I tell Tiffany to meet me in Paris by the Trocadero. She's been waiting for me all these years. She's never taken another lover. I don't care. I don't show up. I go to Berlin. That's where I stat chandelier.
And so,
oh, jeez.
So this might be the first one that I'm totally against.
Why?
Well, I don't know. It's a monologue, so I guess you're right. It's a talking head.
Yeah, whatever you want.
Yeah, it's your list. Good job.
Right.
I expect more from you, though.
Why? That's awesome.
It's fun.
It is. Yeah. It's memorable too.
Yeah.
Say it without reading it.
Well, no, I mean, I don't. It's not. I remembered that he had said it. I didn't remember exactly what he'd said, but I remember that he said it, so that's pretty good. That's pretty good. All right, don't be jealous. You didn't think of it.
I don't know what he said. I just know that he said it.
Someone said it at some point.
Yes.
My number 7 is Red from Shawshank Redemption. Get busy living or get busy dying.
That's not mine.
Like it's just like, and it's perfect, obviously, for what the hell's the old guy's name? Brooks.
Yeah.
His arc in the story.
So good.
And just when you think that Red's going to be on his way out too, because everything's the same way it's happening. That happened to Brooks, but he says that line: "Get busy living or get busy dying." He says, "You goddamn right." And he heads off and goes sees his friend, and saying what to nail. And I will always remember that moment from the movie.
That might be as close to a perfect movie as I've ever seen.
That's why it's on the Shawshank scale.
Yeah. I mean, it's no Battleship.
Battleship.
That is fantastic.
Yes.
Yeah. Just a great movie.
Yep.
I don't know if I can say anything other than that. All right, now we're getting to the good stuff. All right, let's go with Good Will Hunting, Robin Williams.
Nice.
I can learn anything from you that I can't learn anything from you that I can't read from a book, unless you want to talk about you. They're sitting on the thing. They went through the whole thing where Matt Damon sees art and rips apart his family life.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just by far my favorite performance ever by Robin Williams.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just fantastic.
It is. It's good.
Yeah, I don't want to say
Again, I haven't
more.
seen it in years, so many years.
Oh, I watched this. This is one of the movies that anytime it's on, I jump in and watch.
I was going to say that, and like we just talked about Shawshank, those are movies like in the movie, if they're on TV, you stick with it. You don't flip past it.
Which is rare for dramas for me anyway. But yeah,
Yeah,
those
true.
are definitely
And Shawshank, especially if it's on TV, because
Mm.
there's commercials and I can get up and move and walk around because it's really long. Or
you can pause it, right? There's a function on your remote where you can pause if you have to get up.
Yeah, but my wife's sitting there too. She don't want to.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Behind the couch pulling a hammy.
Yeah.
It sounds dirtier than what I intended.
Well, since we broke the Shawshank bubble, Red to the Parole Board is my number 7. We're number 7,
one.
right? I know what you think it means, Sonny. To me, it's just a made-up word, a politician's word, so that young fellas like yourself can wear a suit and tie and have a job. What do you really want to know? Am I sorry for what I did? There's not a day that goes by I don't feel regret. I want to talk to him. I want to try to talk sense to him. I want to rehabilitated. It's just a BS word. So you go and stamp your form, Sonny, and stop wasting my time. Yeah. And of course, that's the one that gets him released. So, so good.
Yeah,
very good. I just love his demeanor when he's sitting in the chair. Like, it's not just what he says; it's the way he looks.
He's just fed up, right? He's just over it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He's just done with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Another thing is, anytime Red reads over
narration
when he wins the beer.
Oh yeah.
I think he just did it just to feel normal. It just so good.
Yeah. I mean, when you have Morgan Freeman's voice, it's pretty much his whole career. Yeah, we can have probably 10 of his on here.
I'm watching the bucket list today.
Yeah. Oh man, that's interesting. All right.
Ooh, number 6. I'm gonna go with a scene from Ted Lasso. I think it's in season 1. It's "the hope that kills you" is a line that Ted hears in England, and he doesn't agree with it because Ted believes in hope. I believe in hope. I believe in belief. I believe in miracles. There's so many from Ted Lasso, but I like the idea of believing in yourself and believing that something good can happen when it seems like only bad things will happen. But good things do happen to good people if you want to think that way, and I do. So that's the scene from Ted Lasso. The one scene from Ted Lasso that I picked. My whole list could have been 10.
Yeah, we talked about
that. I got one scene from Ted Lasso. Yeah, I think this list could be all Ted Lasso if we wanted to pretty easily.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't necessarily remember the exact moment he says that.
Yeah, and I don't know what the context of it. Like, I remember that they're in the locker room and the team looks like they're going to lose or something. I'm not sure if it was the finale or whatever.
They're going to get delegated, right?
Yeah, or delegated, regulated,
relegated.
Whatever. Regulated, relegated, delegated.
I'm getting frustrated. Let's move on.
Yeah,
that was clever.
Okay, I did that one. All right, let's go with Jerry Maguire. The ending theme. What's that?
Oh, nothing. I was just talking to myself. Sorry.
Walks in the door and asks for his wife, and our project, our company, had a very big night, a very, very big night. And then, of course, it concludes with "You complete me," which isn't my favorite part of that speech. But I guess the acceptance of his wife, which is really funny to say that now, since he got into this with the kid. Anyway, it's just a great scene. It's Tom Cruise can do that. He also plays a drunk very well. He plays drunk extremely well. Another one of my favorite scenes in that whole movie. It's just great. Renee Zellweger don't have to do a whole lot in that scene besides hold a tray.
Right. And the book club members that are sitting there, her sister and stuff, are just in love with what he's saying the whole way through. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, fantastic.
Cool. Good pick. I didn't even think about that one. That probably should have been on my list, but it's not. All right. My number 6 comes from a movie that has nothing serious going on in it, except for this one line.
Compared to that Simpsons
You know what I'm
episode.
sick and tired of, Harry? I'm sick and tired of having to eke my way through life. I'm sick and tired of being a nobody. Most of all, I'm sick and tired of having nobody. So this is Dumb and Dumber right before they take off to chase her down. Right after the bird scene, shortly after they get in the shaggin' wagon and take off on the road. And I think it's probably the one serious moment in that movie where you actually see more than just dumb out of either one of those characters. So, yeah, I like that one. That's my number 6.
That's a great one.
Huh?
So
So
many
many,
great
yeah,
movies.
right, for sure.
Number 6 is from a scene from the season finale of The Bear, or the first season finale of The Bear, where the lead character Carmi goes to, I think he's at Alcoholics Anonymous meetings, or it's for meetings for somebody in your family who is like that, and he goes to these meetings and he kind of lays out the tragedy that happened to his family that we've heard about through the first 8 episodes. It's a 7-minute scene, just a one shot right on Jeremy Allen White's character, and he just gets into everything about his family and why. I always dig when characters are vulnerable and they let themselves go and they can show who everything that's affecting them, and you kind of understand why people are the way they are. And this idea of Carmi being, accepting who his brother was. His brother was an addict, and he committed suicide and left his, brother with this restaurant that he's burning to the ground. And, Carmi's just drowning in everything that his brother had left him. And just this expression of, everything about your family, accepting who your family is, accepting your brother who you may love, but he's also an addict and he killed himself. Yeah. And the Bear is one of my favorite TV shows of all time. Even with only 2 seasons now, but that 7-minute one-shot scene from the season finale of season 1.
So that whole scene is the reason I watched the show.
Yeah,
I'm not as high on the show as most people, just because it's too depressing for me.
it's very depressing.
It's not a feel-good show. And yeah. So it's not something necessary for me. But that speech is fantastic.
Yeah,
it's really good. All right, I'm gonna take the one that you started this whole conversation with, which is The Lord of the Rings and Sam by Gamgee. There's some good left in this world. Frodo's about ready to give up, and Sam just goes into this monologue, which isn't verbatim for the book, but the sentiment is there. So anyway, it's really the movie does that really well. It's probably better than what they did in the book for me. Yeah, just a great scene. I think everyone needs a friend like that. So to not let you give up.
That's number 2 on my list.
Oh, sorry, man.
No, I love that scene.
Yeah,
so good.
It's great. I could probably put the, I may not be able to carry it for you, but I can carry you.
That's another good one. Yeah, for sure.
There's so many good ones in there. So many great ones in the book. Okay, your turn, Steve.
My number 5 is Cap from Endgame. The 5 years ago, we lost all of us. We lost friends. We lost family. We lost part of ourselves. Today, we have a chance to take it all back. You know your teams. You know your missions. Get the stones. Get them back. One round trip each. No mistakes. No do-overs. Most of us are going somewhere we know. That doesn't mean we should know what to expect. Be careful. Look out for each other. This is the fight of our lives, and we're going to win whatever it takes. So,
the leader.
That's right.
Would it be better if Homer Simpson said it?
Yes, it would be. Yeah.
I got done watching Devin and the Geeks last night. Go out in the living room. My wife's watching Endgame, who, mind you, has never sat down to watch it with me.
Oh, really? So it's kind of like the Big Bang Theory episode when they come back from the
Yeah.
Comic-Con and the women are in the arguing about Hulk and Thor.
Thor's
Well,
hammer. Yeah.
she's on me right now. She's like, we got to finish Guardian of the Galaxy 3 because we haven't finished it yet. And she's like, I know. But she likes it, and that's what counts. I'm not going to tell her no. Steve don't want me to finish it.
I dare you to try, though. That'd be good.
Yeah, I might record it or have a hand.
Well, Jim's mom, call Heather and tell her not to worry about it. It'll be fine. No? Okay.
Mom, I'll have her.
All right.
Very excitable number 4 there. I'm going to go with Keanu Reeves from The Replacements. In the final huddle before the final snap of the game, pain heals, chick dig scars, and glory lasts forever. I always love that, and I even like the ending where Gene Hackman does his narration to them winning the game too. But I always dug Keanu Reeves. Pain heals, chick dig scars, and glory lasts forever.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm really impressed with your ability to remember all these like little gems in these.
It's all about YouTube clips, man.
I'm going to say cliche sports movies. I don't want to like put it down because it's really good for what it is.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I would have never even thought of that.
Mm-hmm.
I just remember the strippers being the cheerleaders. All I remember from that movie. Or was that basketball?
What strippers? What?
It was basketball.
What strippers? I don't remember that.
Yeah, it's basketball. Steve Frozen? No.
Nope.
No, I'm not impressed.
I'm just very emotionless. Yeah.
Yeah.
Stoic.
We are on what number?
Number 4.
4.
Well, I am one short.
I just
No,
copied
no.
one from somebody else. Oh.
Take a
We're
Homer
going to go with Field of Dreams, baseball, Ray. Which you give him a monologue, it's going to be good no matter what you do.
Yeah.
I could have picked I Am Your Father, Luke, but yeah, it's just I rewatched this movie and I other than the father-son story, I sometimes I like why is it as good as it is? Because that baseball speech shouldn't be as impactful as it is, and it is.
Yeah.
It's just fantastic. The older I get, the more that movie means to me, I guess.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah. Anyway,
well, it took me a while to like get over the fact of how the movie makes no sense, and like what are they doing? Where are they coming from? Like he's playing with ghosts? Like what's happening here? And then once you get over that fact, and like it's about family and like him and his dad, like oh my god, he's having a cat with his dad, like Jesus.
It might be the best father-son story out there.
Exactly.
It's unbelievable.
Other than Star Wars.
Lord of the Rings has taken the place of Star Wars in my life.
That's right. Yes. Cool. All right.
I still love Star Wars.
My number 4 was Independence Day, so that will take us to number 3.
My number 3 is Sylvester Stallone, Rocky Balboa in Balboa, when he's talking with his son outside of his restaurant about keep moving forward. It's about getting, knocked down and getting back up. And his son in his hand. It's small through my hand and keep moving forward when you're getting knocked down. That's Rocky to a T. And I think that's one of Sly's better acting performances that he's done in that little moment. Between, and it's another father-son one. So I'll piggyback off of Jim's father-son moment in Field of Dreams with
Nice.
So with the Rocky Balboa one.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen Balboa. But the first Rocky is just a brilliant movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I'm going to have to watch all those. I'm going to go It's been a long time.
What's the last one you saw?
Well, I mean, I
5.
saw 1, 2, 3. I mean, I've seen the first Creed, but I just haven't. And I may have seen that. No. That's pretty recent, right?
Balboa? Oh,
Yeah.
no, that's still 15 years ago, I think.
Okay, well, compared to 1989, I guess.
Yeah,
Compared to Tommy
And that's
Gunn.
what I remember calling the movie theater and getting the voicemail of all the listings for
love that.
Rocky 3. I remember doing that. So
Yeah.
Rocky 3 has another good one too, where he's on the beach and he's telling his wife that he's scared. I really love that one too.
Boy, your recall. I meant to say Rocky 2. Go.
Yeah. Rocky 2? Oh, yeah.
I don't even remember.
Oh, that's the one where you got to be. Oh no, that's 3. Never mind.
Yeah, 3 is when
he's got to be. He's got to be quick. Got to be. That's where
Yeah.
he's chasing the chicken. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the great meme on the beach.
Yeah, it's the second one where his wife's in the coma and she wakes up and she says win, and then Mickey's there and he says, well, what are we waiting for?
Yeah.
I think that's 2. I can't remember.
It is 2. Yep.
But I just love Mickey. Well, what are we waiting for?
I don't remember that.
Although after seeing him in Grumpy Old Man, you can't really go back and watch him in the same way.
The best thing about Grumpy Old Men is the outtakes.
It is, yeah.
It's, he's talking about.
Come on, Emily. Yeah, when he's talking about all the
taking the skip boat to Tuna Town and going to put the hot dog in the bun, and
he's hilarious. It's fantastic.
Yeah, Burgess is the best.
Yeah. All right.
I don't remember that. I've never seen Grumpy Old Men.
Oh man!
Oh my god!
Yeah. It's not just Chris Evans. It's me.
Yeah, I was gonna.
My number 3, I'm going to go with Jack Nicholson, A Few Good Men.
You're going with number 3? Okay. I'll make that my number 3 then, just to. I'll make it number 3 just to keep it uniform here. We'll talk about it now. Yeah.
Just a great movie. The whole movie, not just that scene. It's just a great speech. I do enjoy the behind the scenes of this movie where they talk about he gave it his all every take. And I was like, hey, you can save yourself. He's like, I don't get stuff like this to read or to do very often. And it's just fantastic. It's,
it is.
Don't question the blanket of freedom I provide.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
It's just unless I write it all down, I can't say it. But
so the other one in that movie, there's a couple in that movie when he's actually down in Guantanamo Bay.
Mm-hmm.
He has a good one. But when Tom Cruise is, after he goes and grabs the bat, and he's talking to Demi Moore and Kevin Pollak, and he's imitating Jack Nicholson, and that whole speech he's giving is also very good and could easily be on this list for me.
It is a great movie.
It is.
That's always a movie that I thought they should make a sequel to. It feels like there's more courtroom drama with Tom Cruise and Demi Moore and Kevin Pollak as a team again. I don't know why. I don't know.
And they could do it now, and it'd be very reminiscent of Top Gun 2. Like, come back and be the.
Ooh. Yeah,
like another prosecutor or defender. I can't remember if is he the defense lawyer?
Yeah, he was a defense.
Yeah,
but he could play the prosecution role in the next one.
Yeah. Well, who's going to be the young up and coming JAG officer?
Yeah, they have to get some young JAG off in there. Yeah, some
That would have to be. We know how much they love on Gathering of the Geeks. How much they love Shia LaBeouf. So we can go with Shia.
Ryan Gosling.
I don't know. Tom Holland, maybe. Who knows? All right. So my number 3, we'll go the same with the number 3. So that takes us to.
My number 2 is Samwise in Two Towers. When all hope seems to be lost, and this is a world worth fighting for. Love that Samwise.
Yeah, he's great.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost hard to believe how many great scenes Sean Astin has as an actor, because I don't think of him as an incredible actor.
Right.
Man, has he done some good stuff.
He gives it his all every time.
Yeah, I mean, even in 51st Dates.
Classic.
Yes, that's good stuff. Yeah, that's.
And in Stranger Things. Fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah, Bob.
I
Poor
like
Bob.
him in Stranger Things. I rooted
Yeah.
for him.
Yeah.
There's no way Joy should have ended up with Hopper.
No. No.
Missed
Good
opportunity.
time.
So that was your number 2.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
My number 2 was Scent of
My
a
number
Woman.
Were you skipping me?
Oh, I thought that was yours.
No, that was his.
That's right. Okay. Sorry. Go ahead.
Okay, my number 2 is a Ted Lasso. It's Be Curious, Not Judgmental.
Hmm.
It's the entire scene with Rupert,
Yeah.
the dart contest. It's pretty much boils down bullying and then it makes me feel so good when he wins this dart match. And I mean, he pretty much cons Rupert, which
Yeah.
I'm a fan of con man movies anyway.
Right.
But maybe you can explain this. Why does he say barbecue sauce right before he throws the final dart? Do you remember? He what do I need? He needs two double 20s, and at the end he says barbecue sauce and throws it.
It's got to be a Kansas thing.
Yeah, I'm maybe. But yeah, just talking about the whole Walt Whitman quote: "Be curious, not judgmental." And it's the first time you hear about his dad dying when he was young.
Those are some of the best moments with those. Just the subtle hint of Ted's past life.
Yes,
That happened when he was a kid. And I hope you guys don't have this for number 1, but the dog speech is the one where he's talking about the dog when he's 3 years old. I got it here. It's funny to think about things in your life that make you cry just knowing that they existed can then become the same thing that make you cry knowing that now that they're gone. It's just like, oh, Jesus. Yeah. It's just like, oh, Dad, please stop it.
Sure.
Yeah, and I love that stuff about his dad. Because that's hinted about through all 3 of the seasons, I think, about him losing his dad and how that changed him. It's like, oh man.
It's pretty amazing how much foreshadowing they do in that show. Oh, give you hints. I guess it's not really foreshadowing, but it's almost like they had a plan, and
almost.
It's crazy.
Not just winging it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think my favorite Ted speech was the last one in season 3. I think it was the second to last episode before they go out and play. I can't even remember what he says in it now, but remember I told you that was a speech that made me think I could go out on the field and play and be good. I feel like I could do it now after listening to that speech.
Mm-hmm.
So we have speeches that make me feel like I can fly a plane. You can play
right. Yes. Yeah.
The other one I like is Roy too, when he gets to go up and do the press conference at the end, after what's his name goes into the crowd, and he talks about him mouthing off to an old player on his team, and he finds out that the player's wife lost a baby, and you don't know what's happening in people's lives, so you don't get to say whatever the fuck you want to say to them, and that's another good one.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. It is.
Like I said, we could have done 10. We could have just done top 10.
Yeah, we could have did 10. You're right.
Monologues.
All right. So my number 2 is The Scent of a Woman. And that takes us to
extended number 1 there.
Number 1.
Do we all have the same number 1?
No, I don't think so. I highly doubt it.
Okay, so I have the Jaws scene on the boat, talking about the USS Indianapolis. I just love that scene where it's funny, and then all of a sudden it's not anymore because he's talking about. I remember that scene. What does he say? 1,500 men went into the water, and then 200 came out or something. And he's talking about the sharks picking them off one by one. Mm-hmm. That's my favorite moment in that movie, and that's what makes the movie so great. It's not the shark stuff. It's not the the blood and the guts in the movie. It's just most of the time it's people talking are my favorite parts in movies. Just those 3 guys just talking in the hull of the ship, talking about just the shark. And it's really ridiculous that they made a movie out of that speech, basically, with Nicolas Cage in it. Funny enough. So that's my number 1 is the USS Indianapolis speech in Jaws.
Yeah, that's pretty great. It don't make my list just because when I think of Jaws, that's not necessarily, and I don't watch it a lot.
Sure.
So it's not the first thing that comes to my mind when I think of Jaws. I think of not wanting to take a bath when I was 5 because I was afraid of
I hear
shark
you.
was in the bathtub. So
Yes.
it's amazing I didn't like that movie at all.
Fair enough.
Yeah, thanks, Paul, for letting me watch that when I was 5 years old. Appreciate that.
So my number one is also a TV show, The Office, but it's the last episode of the entire show, and it's a whole last scene. Almost every one of the characters gets a little monologue where they're talking about this. Like Jim said, you guys gave us the opportunity to watch me propose to my wife, to have a baby. It's just they explain the whole series in through little clips of their growth throughout the show, and then Creed singing a song, about memories of friends, and it's just so good. It ends with Pam, saying, "I thought it was weird you guys picked us to make a documentary. There's a lot of beauty in the ordinary things. Isn't that kind of the point?" Which is just fantastic. My favorite show of all time, and favorite overlapping.
So I feel like we should break down the term monologue, like for how many people are actually speaking.
You can go with just hers because she's just the last one.
Gotcha. If I would have known I could put 12 people at number one, I would have had a whole different list.
Well, I just went with the whole scene because I like
I'm just
kidding.
I know.
Why don't you freeze again?
Nice.
3/4 of my
Yeah,
list. Take it easy.
I like it. All right. My number one comes from Game of Thrones.
all the characters.
All the characters.
The entire Red Wedding.
No. That would be awesome. That would be awesome. And it's Tyrion in response to being accused of poisoning Joffrey. And this is the point in the show where Tyrion becomes, where his whole character shifts. You can start to empathize with him a little more. You kind of start rooting for him a lot more than you were before this scene. Yes, Father, I'm guilty. Guilty. Is that what you want to hear? No, I'm innocent of poisoning the king. I am guilty of far more monstrous crime. I'm guilty of being a dwarf. I wish I was the monster you think I am. I wish I had enough poison for the whole pack of you. I would gladly give my life to watch you all swallow it. Just love it. And yeah, this is the scene that completely, and Peter Dinklage is just great in this scene. Probably my favorite scene with him all around. And it just sets the tone for him going forward for the rest of the series.
I enjoyed his. I mean, I've only seen the first season, as we all know. I enjoyed his character through the first season.
I liked his character, yeah. I just didn't. I wasn't fully behind his character because he was such a dirtbag. Like leading up to this, I felt.
I'm not sure there's a whole lot of characters in that show that weren't dirtbags.
I'm not. I didn't name them though. I mean, after this, his whole personality changed. Like his whole outlook changed. His whole character changed. So, yeah. So before this moment, if he was with Cersei, he would have been not a nice person with her too. He was kind of with her at that time, but this is when he started to show that he had a human side to him as well. So, yep.
That's a good one. Another one I think from Game of Thrones is when Lady Mormont speaking. It's just before they name Jon King of the North. And little Lady Mormont saying, you guys didn't heed the call. You didn't heed the call. Nobody else heeded the call. But I was there, and I did it for him. And Jon Snow's the King of the North, and then everyone else stands up. So I'll take Jim's, and that's a whole bunch of people doing a pretty cool monologue. It's saying King of the North, but that's another pretty cool moment.
Yeah, there's a few in there. Cool. All right, good lists. Good list.
A lot of stuff I got to
Yeah, I mean, there's so many others out there, like we talked about, different Ted Lasso speeches. I'm sure pretty much every war movie you want to talk about has good ones in it. I think I'm trying to think of Dances with Wolves. Although maybe that's more his narration, because he narrates that, right?
Yeah.
And it's probably more narration than a monologue. So, but yeah, there's so much stuff out there.
There's a lot of great.
Yeah.
There's one from Requiem for a Dream where Ellen Bernstein's character is talking to Jared Leto's character, her son, and she's talking about being alone. She's talking about having lost her husband, how she doesn't have anything. all she has is TV. All she has is these pills that make her feel good. And it's a very depressing one, like my Carmi one for the bear. But it's one of those vulnerable moments where you see the inside of a character through a little monologue. So that's one that I can think of. I have another one from Rocky too, not from Rocky 2, but Rocky 4, when Rocky cuts Ivan Drago and he gets to his corner and Duke is the cornerman, starts yelling at him. He's not a machine.
Not a machine.
You know? Yeah, I love that line. That gives me goosebumps when I watch that movie still, saying he's not a machine. He's like, you cut him. He's a man. He's not a machine. It's just I love that moment from Rocky.
Well, even Rocky's speech at the end of that movie to the
that's a great one.
It's great. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so good. Awesome.
I got a cat trying to break into the office.
Oh. Anything else to add, Jim? Got any honorable mention?
No, I don't have any.
What's that one you missed?
What's that?
You said you missed one, or you didn't have enough?
No, I did. I didn't have a Few Good Men numbered or something. Or I had an asterisk next to it already, but I didn't say it.
Oh, I'm glad we finally got around to doing this, Emmett. Sorry it took so long.
That's fine.
Yeah, we kept pushing it off, and changing the topic just it's the same thing. It would have been the same if we'd done it before. It just seems so daunting. So I was trying to think of what kind of stuff motivates me, and I couldn't really think of any speeches. But
that's the thing. Like, not all mine were like real hurrah moments. It was just
right. Yeah.
Sometimes I get motivated by people just being real and being truthful about things too, right? So
absolutely, yes. Mm-hmm. So awesome. That's pretty much going to do it for us tonight. Thanks so much, Emmett, for being here with us. Yeah, go out and watch The Geeks. It's on live every Sunday. If you can't watch it live, watch it on replay. It is criminal. I posted on your page. You guys are criminally underviewed. I don't get it. Your show is fantastic. I don't know why. More people are watching. Yeah, and the back and forth between, it's just so natural, you guys, with each other. So look forward to it. I don't watch it live, but I do watch it on replay every week, and just love it.
No, we appreciate you, Steve. Thank you.
I try to watch it live.
Yeah, I know you do, and I like watching and replay and watching your comments too. So that's always fun. One of my favorite parts, but it's such a great show. So next week, I don't know. We're gonna have to do another Hot Wing episode soon.
Oh boy, you poor bastards.
Yeah,
it was fun.
It didn't bother Jim at all. So
okay.
I think we got to shoot for that in a couple of weeks. I don't know. What do you think, Jim?
I don't know. I'm thinking about coffee now.
Oh, you are? Huh? Oh, we can do a coffee tasting episode. I don't think that would be as good though.
Emmett doesn't drink coffee, which blows me away.
Let me know when you're doing the beer tasting, and I'll be there.
Oh, there you go. I like that.
The problem with that, you got to buy 10 different kinds of beer, and it's really hard to, unless we get like a
glasses of beer.
Yeah, as long as they're big names, I'm sure we have big names up here.
Yeah, nice. But we got to do that soon. I don't know. We'll come out and figure out what we're going to do next week at some point and let you guys know. But as I said, get out there, support other shows that are out there. And Jason, thank you for watching us as our one and only repeat viewer. It's been fun. And that's all we have. Anything last minute to say, Jim?
No.
All right. This has been Midlife Vices, episode 302. We are the Booster Gold of YouTube shows. Thanks for watching, and take care, everybody.